Okay.
Let's just jump right into the wine and get going.
Okay.
You go first this time.
You want me to go first?
Yep.
We read Hawke by Jescie Hall.
I love this. It looks so cool.
Thanks. It's from Killstar.
Oh.
Killstar is the best.
Killstar. Ding.
Ding. So we read Hawke by Jescie Hall, and Hawke, the main character, has a bunch of cool tattoos.
He does.
Yeah.
Whew, he's hot.
Hot. And what the fuck is her name?
Cole. Nick.
Nicole.
There's a lot of names for her.
Yeah, that's probably why I couldn't remember. Anyway, her douchebag boyfriend, he calls her Angel, which I don't like as a nickname. But anyway, he calls her that. So I found this whip ass label bottle.
Whip ass.
Yeah. I pull out all my like slang. Anyway, this whip ass bottle, the label is really cool, but it also is called Angel's Ink. Pinot Noir. Angel's Ink is a celebration of the dreamers, the seekers, and the boundary breakers. That all fits today.
That's perfect.
Yeah. It is rich, round, and supple.
Ooh.
Yeah. Bursting with juicy crushed berries wrapped in warm vanilla spice.
All right, do your testing. This is like my favorite part.
So we look at the color. Oh, it's very classical
It's
Pinot.
red.
Well, let's see it, but it's a little bit lighter because it's a Pinot.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that one.
Mm-hmm.
Swirly, swirly. Ooh, you got a good one going on.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're just gonna watch you intently.
Mm.
The sound effects alone.
Like plum and vanilla.
Mm.
I got some tobacco at the end.
Oh yeah, you can smell that vanilla.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where do you taste that?
Get all the tannins in your cheeks
Yep.
and on the sides.
And then your gums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Up in here. Up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here.
Ooh. Let me smell it afterwards.
Oh yeah, I want to do an aftertaste smell.
Give me,
More
give
of
me,
that
give me.
tobacco at the end.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Now you smell the tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love your little faces. Mm-hmm.
Spit or swallow,
Oh
Kelly?
yeah, that's swallow.
Yeah?
Mhm.
That's probably not my favorite one that you've had.
Mm-mm. It's a swallower. It's not a savory swallow.
I would honestly say this one's a thinker for me.
Yeah.
My
I
choice.
wouldn't go back for more.
Yeah. If he had tattoos like this all over
Uh-huh.
them.
I mean,
I mean, at least I would give it a shot.
I think it's because I really like this bottle a lot. I do like that plum and vanilla a lot, but Pinot's not. It's a little too light for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like all in here. There's not much
Front
else.
pleaser.
It is a front pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good. Okay, I'll do mine.
Yeah.
So mine is from New Zealand. The best Sauvignon. I did it!
Sauvignon.
Sauvignon Blanc. Are from New Zealand, I think, personally. But
What's it called?
Pallister Estate?
You don't have like a fun like.
No, it's not a fun name.
No.
No.
How come you never have fun descriptions on yours?
I don't know.
White wines are boring, apparently.
They're not boring.
They don't ever have fun descriptions like
You're
mine.
okay, but they're not boring.
I'm
What's
just-
your percentage? We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. The white wine labels are not as fun as mine, I guess. I want to look. Mine is 14.
12.5.
Huh.
So I could drink this whole bottle and it'd be like one glass for you.
Yeah. No.
There's no description on the back of it. So let's try this thing. I hope someone names their kid Shirley.
I'm sure someone did.
Oh, I got some legs. A couple, not a lot. They're timid, sexy legs.
They're timid legs.
They need some coaxing to come out, but they're there. Do you see them?
Barely. Yep.
It's okay. Don't be afraid. Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I smell a lot of apple in this.
Let me smell it before you taste.
Okay. There's a lot of apple.
Whoa. What is this? A Sauvignon.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Blanc is white.
All right, here we go. Ready?
And Noir is black.
Noir.
You didn't spill, did you?
Mm-hmm.
At least it went down inside your crevasse.
Mm-mm. Ooh, it's tart. It did. It went right in my cleavage, Kelly.
Decolletage. It's
like-
decolletage.
It dripped right down
There,
there.
I give you a fancy word
I'm gonna
for
get
it.
like a little
You
spot
just
right here.
ignored it.
I'm sorry. I was distracted by the wine in my cleavage.
In your decolletage.
Is that what they're called? Is that what boobs are called in French?
Fancy word for it. There, now you can sound classy.
I'm just gonna bring out my decolletage. Poor wine.
It is tart.
It's a tart one. It makes you feel alive. Yeah.
It does make you
I
feel
would say this
alive.
is a swallow. This is like a,
It's like a summertime swallow.
yeah, at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lifeguard.
Oh my, yes.
Yeah.
This is a lifeguard swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just on one of those little chairs that they have.
Yeah.
Just climb right up there,
Mhm.
sip some wine. You know, when I think of the lifeguard, you know Stranger Things? What's that guy's name?
Oh, yeah, Billy.
Billy!
Yeah.
This is a Billy wine.
Billy was so hot.
This, yeah.
Mhm.
This is a Billy in a bottle.
Billy in a bottle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would swallow him down all summer
Swallow
long.
Billy whole.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was so sad when he died. If you haven't watched it, I'm really sorry. I
Yeah,
just broke that to you.
Sorry, but that was a few years ago.
Yeah,
so.
you should have already
Sorry.
watched it.
Yeah.
Prison Hopper. Oh my gosh.
Well, that's why
Oh.
I liked Violent Night, because I was like, that's like just Prison Hopper the entire time.
I would take Prison Hopper any day of the week.
Mm.
Oh my
Especially when
gosh.
he goes to town on like all the Demogorgons and stuff.
You know what? Mine is a Billy wine. Yours is a Prison Hopper wine.
Yeah. Well, you didn't want to swallow this one though.
I mean, I would swallow Prison Hopper
yeah.
for sure in a heartbeat.
I love Steve though. Steve's my favorite character on Stranger Things. I love Steve. He started out as like, I hate this guy, but then he cracks me up. I love him.
He is funny. I wouldn't say I would jump him. Ooh, let's try this. Okay, ready?
Oh, are we gonna do Mary Fuck Kill?
Yeah.
With
Very-
Stranger Things.
Yes.
Ooh, I love Stranger Things.
Okay. Dr. Brenner. Vector.
Vecna or
Vecna.
okay. You always are so evil about this.
I'll throw in Billy for you. Billy. So Dr. Brenner, Vecna, and Billy.
Can Vecna shift back into his human form?
No.
Because I love Jamie Campbell Byard.
Oh, he is sexy as hell. If you don't fuck a Mary Billy, I'm not going to be your friend anymore.
Oh, duh. I'm trying to figure out the other part. Fuck Dr. Brenner, because I bet he's got some fun BDSM things going on.
Really? That shocks me.
Well, he's awful.
All right.
But I bet he has some things going on up his sleeve.
Okay. Okay.
Kill Vecna because he's super evil. You know.
I thought you were going to fuck him, honestly.
I don't know if I could get down with the meat suit. I'm not going to fuck exposed muscle.
All right.
And then definitely marry Billy.
Marry Billy and get all the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay, my turn.
Okay, so I'll give you a gimme like you did Billy. I'll give you Prison Hopper. Robin. I love Robin. The Demogorgon.
Well, I think everyone knows what I would kill. Can you imagine you trying to like fuck a Demogorgon?
Like,
Like,
got that crazy mouth. What if they did something with that mouth? I don't know.
I don't know if that would fit anywhere. Fuck Robin, one and done. And then, of course, I would marry Prison Hopper in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And get all of the enjoyment out of that for a very long time. He has the age gap thing and everything going
I
on.
know.
Whew.
He is your cup of tea.
Prison Hopper all the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what about... okay, wait. I want to redo it. Eddie.
Okay.
Argyle.
Oh my gosh.
And
Okay.
Barb, the first girl who died in the swimming pool.
I would kill the girl because she's already dead anyways. And then I would fuck one time the long-haired dude. What is his name? Argyle. I'd fuck him once and then be just done with him. It would have to be like my eyes are closed. I'm not paying attention. And then, I would marry Eddie.
Eddie's great.
Eddie is great.
Yeah.
I like Eddie. I don't know if I would be happy long term with him,
I was
but
sad that he died.
yeah, it sucked, but I don't know if I would.
Oh my God, I loved it.
I probably would divorce him after a couple years, but at least I give him a couple years.
Yeah.
That's a bonus, right?
Give me some.
Okay. Okay, Nancy, Jonathan,
Give me their whole triangle. You better give me Steve.
Steve. Steve.
I'm marrying Steve. I love him so much.
Yeah?
Oh my God, I love Steve.
Okay.
I'm going to fuck that dude.
I don't know.
and
Jonathan
marry him.
looks like he has some stuff up his sleeve.
Well, that's why I'm going to fuck him and see what he's got going on.
But then you're one and done. What if he has some good stuff going on down
Because
there?
I fucking love Steve.
What if he's like a stallion?
I don't care.
You don't care if Jonathan's a stallion? What if?
No.
What if Steve
What do you got going on with
is
Jonathan?
a micro penis?
He's not, because he already had that huge reputation of being like the superstar of the school.
Maybe he spread those rumors.
Girls talk, dude. Girls talk.
Same.
Steve's my dude.
Would you kill Nancy?
Yeah, she's kind of annoying.
Huh.
I do like that she comes into her own a little bit by the end of this last season, but like, yeah.
All right. Well, after our Stranger Things wine discussion, you ready to hop on into the book? Let's talk about our book, Kelly.
Okay.
This week, we read Hawke
By Jescie Hall.
We actually reached out to her and asked her a couple questions, which we'll give you the answers.
She wasn't able to join us because she had some stuff going on, but she was very, very sweet to answer our questions.
Yeah, she was awesome and so nice. Like, I mean, most of the authors that we talked to are nice, but she was so personable and friendly, and it was really fun to talk to her. I'll read the question and you pretend to be Jescie Hall. Ready?
Okay.
In this book, you showed us the toxic side of religion and how judgmental it can be, one of the things I absolutely loved about this book is it gave such a good example of how toxic can be.
I appreciated that too.
Yes. Sure. What inspired you to write about that?
Ooh, okay. So this is, I'm pretending to be Jessie.
These are her real answers.
So I'm quoting her right now. I grew up in a strict Christian background, going through a private school up until high school, and my experiences were definitely translated in not only Hawke, but also that sick love. I had a lot of inner turmoil and frustrations with corrupt religious institutions that needed to be released. Sexual repression, gender inequality, and many other aspects of my religion that never sat right with me. Writing about those experiences through different characters was cathartic. End quote.
Hawke is a bad boy with a good heart and a unique character. How do you create your characters? Which I always love asking authors this question, just because every answer is so individual and so different. Like, I don't think we've had the same answer for one author every time I've asked it, and I love it so much.
Yeah, it's Brody and Jessie again. My characters somewhat create themselves. I begin to discover who they are as I write them, and Hawke was just begging to be a bad boy with the purest, most loving soul. End quote. And he's great.
Oh, he's delicious.
He is, as she says, like a bad boy, but with, just the like purest soul. Like, he is really just bad boy with the heart of gold.
Yeah, so one of my favorite quotes that I got from the book, that I always find there's always like one or two sentences in a book that kind of wrap up the whole moral of the book that the author kind of wants to like push through to you. And this was the one that I got from this book. So my favorite quote from the book, Hawke, is losing control is what you need to set yourself free. And I really wanted to know what that meant to Jescie Hall.
And she says, I love that this quote stuck out to you. It means so much to me. Many times we feel stuck and trapped by societal standards to not be our true selves. Cole experienced, the female main character is named Cole. Cole experienced this through her tumultuous relationship with Patrick. All she needed was a little push from Hawke to help set her free to become who she was always meant to be.
Yeah. I honestly love that quote so much.
That one and the poetry line that they refer to often, and Hawke ends up getting tattooed on himself. That one I really liked a lot too.
If you're thinking about reading this book, Hawke, I recommend it. I liked it. It's about this girl. She's called several different names in this book, but her name is Nicole, but she doesn't like to be called Nicole because her dad started dating someone that's called Nicole, so she doesn't like that.
She hears him yelling it out during sexy times.
Yeah, so she's like,
mm.
Nick that. So it's either Nicole, Nick, and Hawke starts to call her Cole. And so those are her 3 names. But she met this boy in college and they fell in love, and it's pretty much that like cookie cutter romance where they're going to get married. He's a Christian. He has his own
She comes from a
family
pretty conservative
business.
upbringing. He's a very like stereotypical Catholic upbringing.
Good boy.
Like but then you start to find out like it's kind of how a lot of people have that like it's the perfect Catholic family on the surface, but then they're really not all that great underneath.
Down below, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, here down below was great. But like, yeah, it was a good book.
And then this character Hawke comes in, and
Whew.
through circumstances we find out later, like he ends up living with them, and then all kinds of fun ensues. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hawke alone is worth reading about.
I mean, who cares about anybody else? Just read about that boy.
When they talked about his leather jacket alone, as soon as they mentioned that, I automatically like smelt the leather.
Yeah, and you're just like,
yes. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I enjoyed him.
I enjoyed him a lot. Hawke is a win. But yeah, so if you have not read this book,
please, I didn't know if I was too far away from the mic. Please pause and come back.
So a little backstory on Nicole, which we all probably as you're listening, you already know. But she is she's an editor, and then she also works at a bar at night with an awesome guy named John. I love
him.
I do too.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's so nice and so supportive. He's an awesome
friend.
Supportive character. He's like the definition of supportive character.
Sidekick.
Yeah.
He's working at the bar to like make extra money to support his girlfriend who's pregnant, and like so for like his budding family because he's still in school, so he just wants to have a little extra money for the new baby, which is great. And he's like a super awesome like friend and coworker.
Yeah, he's just a good guy.
Great.
He is a good guy. Patrick is her boyfriend who is religious, likes to pick and choose what he chooses to decide is bad and not.
He's kind of the quintessential like stereotypical
like women are below me,
misogynistic Catholic.
It was hard for me to read that one. I just kind of wanted to shake him a little bit.
Yeah.
And Nicole, she starts out as kind of wanting that perfect family, perfect life ideal that we are all kind of ingrained with. I feel like maybe I'm wrong.
She
but
really frustrated me at the beginning.
Yeah, but it's hard because she was ingrained with the whole idea of you marry, you have babies, and then you do what your husband tells you to do.
And it was really frustrating to me, and I'm glad that she grew out of it because then she did grow on me. But like, I didn't have that like upbringing.
This is a lot, I think, for women. It's a lot of stuff that society ingrains in you, and it was a fun book to read to kind of go against the grain.
Yes, it is. It is a lot of like, whether you personally agree with it or not, it is a lot of societal expectations. And she had with her family, it was really enforced upon her.
Yeah. It's hard looking at it from a different point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got where she was coming from though.
Yeah.
So, Patrick works for his family's business. So he starts to leave a lot, and Hawke is released from prison and he moves in with them.
Patrick doesn't say anything to her at all.
Yeah, she has no idea why he went to prison. She just
wakes up one morning and all of a sudden this dude is there.
Yep.
And Patrick's like, oh, hey, we have a roommate. Like, doesn't say anything to her beforehand. Doesn't say anything to her. Doesn't explain about why. He's just like, we have a roommate. That's it.
She starts to have a hard time with Patrick a little bit because he's just kind of ditching her for his work a lot more than ever before. So she's supposed to go on a date with him, and he has to end up going to work. So she decides that she's going to get all dressed up, and she's going to go to the bar that she works at.
Like, I'm taking myself on a date.
Yeah, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, this is the beginning of her like coming into her own.
Have you ever taken yourself out to a restaurant and just ate by yourself?
I don't know if I've gone and eaten like out at a restaurant by myself because I like to talk too much.
Yeah, I have never done it. That would probably be like I don't know if I could do that.
I've gone like when I used to travel for work a lot, sometimes like the people I would travel with, because this is like we would go, I worked with dogs, and so it was like for dog events. So sometimes the person I was with would still be like, sometimes they'd go out like hunting on the events with them. So I'd be like, okay. And so sometimes I would go and pick up food and bring it back to the hotel and just eat by myself at the hotel and watch a movie or something.
Right.
But I don't know if I'd sit like at a restaurant.
But she does it. She goes to the bar. She gets herself a drink.
At least the bar that she works at, so she knows like she can hang out with John, the bartender, and stuff. So
yeah.
Like if it was in like a town I didn't know, I wouldn't.
Yeah. So she gets all gussied up and she goes to the bar and John's there. Wait. Hold on, pause. I'm going to go get you dragon's blood. All right, so I made Kelly some dragon blood.
Wait, okay, we didn't explain what dragon's blood
is.
is.
Kelly, explain what
it
is.
Okay, so they work at a bar.
She
John and Nick, or Cole.
Oh my gosh.
At the bar, they have a bar drink called dragon's blood, which is whenever like the bottles get down to the very end, they pour it in a communal bottle, and they call it dragon's blood, and then they will drink that. That's kind of like the same thing.
This is it. So I went down to Kelly's liquor cupboard and I made some dragon's blood.
She didn't tell me what she put in it.
Yeah, I don't even know what I put in it.
Just grab some things. Well, a lot of my bottles have like Halloween labels on them too.
I don't know.
I know what they are.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I can do this.
I said, is it going to make me puke? I know there's vodka and tequila in it.
Yeah, I can do the tequila.
There's got to be some sort of like cocoa or something in there.
There's like butterscotch something.
Oh, butterscotch. Butterscotch.
Okay.
How many things did you put in it? Did you grab 2 bottles downstairs?
I mean, I just grabbed a handful.
How many bottles did you grab downstairs?
There's probably like 6 little shots of stuff in here.
Serious?
That's what dragon blood is.
Triple sock, maybe?
Do you want to say your cheers?
Oh, which one?
I don't know. Whichever one makes you happy.
Here's to you, as good as you are. Here's to me, as bad as I am. As good as you are, as bad as I am. I'm as good as you are, as bad as I am.
Oh my freaking gosh. What do you think? It's the butterscotch didn't do it for me.
I mean, it's not like I would do it again.
Well, woke my senses up. Hey.
She had a few of them too.
Yeah, she did. So after she did that, she went in to go play darts by herself. Mm-hmm. And then in walks Kid, which is Hawke's friend.
Yeah, and he's like...
He's fun.
He's super fun. She described him as like a Billy Idol. Yeah, it's still like reverberating around there. Mm-hmm. She describes him as like a Billy Idol knockoff.
Yeah, he's just a lot of fun. I like him a lot.
And he's like that friend who like always is like hitting on you, but like in a super fun way. Like it's just like never serious and just like, okay.
It's like a Ryan.
Yeah.
It's like our Ryan.
Our Ryan. Like we love like Ryan.
Yeah. So after they're talking, Kid is just like teasing her. Then let me set the scene for everybody.
Oh yeah, Penny's so good at this.
So the door flies open. There's smoke, lasers,
doves flying out.
Doves flying. There's and I need you now tonight playing in the background. And then
he would have a better. Now you're messing with a son of a bitch.
Yes. He's pretty much Sex on a Stick. So Sex on a Stick walks in. And let me read you the description. He has fitted jeans all around the appropriate places.
Obviously. I mean, they're black and ripped up always.
A loose fitted t-shirt, a leather jacket. The leather jacket, why does that get me every time? Because I'm like, I can just smell it. It's like a sensory thing. Mm-hmm. The leather jacket, the black hair that keeps falling in his face.
Ocean eyes.
the ocean eyes, and black.
Long eyelashes always.
Why do guys always fucking get the good eyelashes? It's not fucking fair. I don't know. Anyways, and then he has lace-up combat boots. Boots. He's a hot motherfucker. So when he walks in, smoke is going, lasers, you got the songs.
Now you're messing with it.
He walks in like slow motion, like the
prowl.
Yeah, like on the movies kind of walking. And his eyes narrow on her. I love how he does that. Like she mentions that several times and you can start to like see it where he's like, and he's half smile. Oh my gosh.
And he has the lip ring, his lip piercing. And he plays with it like,
yeah.
Yeah. And it makes...
And there's a puddle under Kelly. So with his lip ring and his sexiness coming in the door, she's playing darts. He is like, hey, you want to make a bet? If I win.
She's like, sure.
Yep.
I'll do all the things.
She goes, if I win, you have to drink the rest of the dragon's blood. I shouldn't say.
She's like, I'm being all devious, like, ha, 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 ha.
And he's like, okay, if I win, you come with me to wherever I go.
Yep.
So she shakes on it.
Because she's like, I got this. I work at this bar. I can do these darts.
And she does a pretty good job.
Yeah, but not thinking like this dude just came out of prison where he probably has nothing better to do than like play darts all day.
Yeah, so he wins. He definitely wins.
He looks at her and throws it.
Which is badass.
Badass.
Yeah. My knees would go a little weak at that point. And so they leave and he takes her to this cabin. And she walks in and there's people like grinding on each other and making out.
Total like orgy basically. There's like a threesome happening. There's somebody getting a beaker like in the kitchen. There's like there's full on just
for her little church mouse brain, it's a lot to take in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like she's like, this is her full on like big ass party. Like I don't think she's ever been to a party like this ever. No. Even through college.
Nope. So Hawke ends up taking her into this room with a desk or whatever. And he starts to kind of seduce her and tries to get her to lower her walls a little bit.
Yeah.
He does. So she's like, why did you bring me here? And he's like, well, I kind of want to make this girl jealous, which he did on the way in. So he grabs her.
Yeah.
And
he like grabs her on the way in by like, he's like holding her hand on the way in and stuff. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's kind of like, eye conversation, like just go along with it. She's like, all right. And then she's like, she figures out that he's like trying to make this chick on the way in jealous.
Yes. So in this room, they're talking and she's like, this is stupid. I just want to go home. So she goes towards the door. She goes to open it and he closes it. Oh my gosh. There's chemistry right here.
There's a lot of scenes in this book of him like leaning over her in a door frame.
Oh, it's like, so fucking sexy.
The way their height difference is that her face is like right by his neck. It talks about his Adam's apple.
Oh, that is so fucking
and you're
sexy.
Like, how is that so hot? And she talks about it so much that you're like, oh my God, that is fucking hot.
I know, you kind of almost want to bite the Adam's apple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like how she talks about how like, and you do when they take a drink and you watch them like swallow and how it works down and you're just like, oh yeah. She's right there. They're so close. His head is like against the door and her face is like right by his throat.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about throats.
Oh yeah. She likes the throats.
I like them.
This scene was hot. Like you could just, how she wrote it, you could feel the chemistry just building and building and building. And he's just like inches away from her and she can feel it too. And he's like, damn it.
Feel it too. What is it? I'm the one that wants to be with you. I love when you dance tonight. All of these songs are songs that I hate. And why do I sing it? Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. And then in the background, I go, feel it too. Thank you, Mr. Big.
So he cages her in on the door, which I find a good caging in
I was
hot.
Say I love a good caging
in.
in.
It is hot. And he does that like the eyes, the lips, the eyes, the lips. Like, that is like the best.
Looking from the eyes to the lips to the eyes to the lips, especially when you're right there. But then he doesn't fucking kiss her.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. Whew. Yeah. You're left edging. So he's like keeps looking, and she's trying to convince herself, but like kind of verbalizing it, that she's not interested in him.
Yeah.
And he calls her bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then he says,
the way you bite the corner of that lip every time I'm near you, and the way I can see your pulse pounding in that delicate little neck of yours says otherwise. I mean, don't you wonder what it's like to be fucked by someone like me? That painful pleasure that's just sitting deep inside you. There's an ache, a want, no, a need to be filled. Isn't that what you need? To be fucked.
Hello.
yeah, that would be
okay.
Yeah, I would be like, okay, I lied.
Yes,
I
please.
lied.
Mm-hmm.
That was a...
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She has much more. She has a lot more self-restraint than me. She does a good job.
She does. She does.
Good for you, girl. For a while.
Yeah. Especially him like leaning over her as he says it.
I would just be like,
oh my gosh.
I'd be like, uh-huh.
Whatever.
So you wanna do that right now?
we can try it.
Okay.
I'm in.
No, I was gonna say, because he calls her out on her towel, her biting the corner of her lip. Like, she's always like, and he always fucks with his lip ring.
Whew. So the tension kind of just builds over time. They're just, Patrick keeps leaving, and he's an asshole
and being a dick, and like not. And this is like,
but the thing is, he isn't doing anything like terribly wrong either.
It's just like she tries to bring up issues to him, and he just keeps brushing her off, ignoring her, acting like it's insignificant. And he's like, ugh, we're not going to talk about it. Oh, you're just overreacting. Like, typical, just like not recognizing
you're being overdramatic.
Not recognizing her her concerns or
yeah.
Fuck
yeah, look at that bottle gone.
Or like, do you want to do some more for me?
Yeah, I do.
Like not even listening to her or letting her be heard, which is that's significant too. So, oh yeah,
Kelly, go you.
So they like discover they both like mafia movies.
Yeah, and so they just snuggle on the couch together. It's really cute.
So they like. It is cute. It's a very like drawn out like.
Oh, it's tension
because it's over like days, and they start out on opposite ends of the couch, and then they like gradually
it slowly builds.
It's really cute.
It is.
Yeah,
it's snuggly. Patrick leaves to go on a trip, another business trip.
Yeah, and he's doing the thing where like he's like, "I'll call as soon as I land," and then he doesn't for like hours.
Yes,
and then he's just like, "Oh, I'm here."
Jerk.
Bye. Yeah.
Yeah. So Patrick's gone, and then Hawke is like, "Hey, can we have a couple peoples over? People over.
Have some couple peoples over.
Couple peoples over. That's a good
Say
one.
décolletage again.
Décolletage. And so he's like, "Can we have some people over and to have the party here?" And she's like, "Sure, why not? Patrick's gone. He's an asshole.
Like whatever.
We're in." So, Kit comes over, and then this other girl comes over, and she is all over Hawke, big time. So she's like hitting on him. They end up going to the couch and start making out, and Nick is trying to be very cool about it.
And she's like, whatever, I don't have any.
Yeah, I shouldn't be jealous.
Hold over you because obviously I'm still in a relationship.
So many emotions.
Yeah. And so like, like Kid's over in the kitchen with Nicole and he's all like, I love that dude.
I love him too. He's so fun.
He's just like, I thought she was into me. And she's all sitting there like, You know, like I'm supposed to not act like this is bothering me, but I totally am. And I don't know. It was just like a funny.
Yeah, it was. And then they bring out the drugs and
yeah.
Hawke freaks the fuck
Yeah. So
out.
this chick, Marion, is like bringing out like Coke and she's gonna put it on the table. Nick is like, I don't want to make a big deal about this because I don't want to look like an uppity church girl or whatever. But that's like my like antique family table. What do I do? And Hawke like,
yeah, he kicks him out. He's like, hey, you're gonna go. And then he's like, I can't drive.
Like, he totally was like, get that shit out of here. Like,
well, and then Kid was like, I can't drive. So Hawke ends up taking them. And he's like, wait for me, Cole. She's like, okay.
She was kind of like, what?
And she had a whole bottle of
okay.
wine.
She's like, all right, I feel like an idiot, but I'm totally going to do it anyway.
She had a whole bottle of wine, which always leads to bad decisions.
Bad decisions, but also the best decisions.
But then it happens. It finally happens. So he comes back and they lay on the couch together like they have been doing. And they snug a little closer.
And he apologizes for like, you know, all weirdness and shit.
So they snuggle on the couch.
Yeah.
They have a hot and heavy kiss. Then what happens, Kelly?
Oh, and then they fucking bang.
They don't.
No, they don't. They don't bang.
Shit. No, they don't.
So they have a really good, intense kiss.
Yeah, they
Very
do.
emotional kiss.
Yeah. It's like passion pouring out kind of kiss.
And then there's lots of eye contact throughout a lot of this.
Yes.
And she talks about even before this, like how they like stare into, she always talks about how he can look through her soul.
Yeah.
You know? So then there's hands going everywhere. And then there's some finger blasting.
And she finally,
because
for the first time
we
ever,
haven't talked about this. Sex with Patrick is very lackluster. 2 minutes.
She can't come. She's never come in her life.
She's never had an orgasm in her life. Never in her life. She's apparently never masturbated.
She comes for the first time ever.
This poor girl.
She falls apart in his arms pretty much. Yeah, but he knows that it's her first time. Like,
well, he didn't know until after that happened.
Yeah, but how would you know that that was someone's first time having an orgasm?
I think because of her reaction. She probably was like didn't know how to handle herself after or whatever.
Maybe.
You know?
I was like, how did he know that was her first and only? Yeah, because I was like, she must have either been very obvious or he is just really in tune. I mean, he could be.
Somehow, but he like realized it afterwards. He didn't know beforehand. And then she
took off.
She freaked out.
Patrick comes back. They try to act normal. Patrick leaves again on a trip.
Yeah, he comes back, gives her like no time of day, just like, I just got back. Let's just be together and ignore all the things. Like, she really valiantly tries to talk to him, and he's just like, no.
So he leaves again, and it is sex galore in that house. They have sex on pretty much every fucking surface. They have a jolly good time.
It's awesome.
So they, on the last day, Patrick's supposed to come home at night, and they're in Hawke's room, and they just got done after another time, and they hear the front door open, and Hawke's like, shit. So they jump up and they're trying to like figure out how to get her out of his room without him knowing that she was in his room, and like, so it isn't all.
Oh, because she says she's going to end it with Patrick, and Hawke's like, don't do that for me. Like, you don't need to do that. Blah, blah, blah. He's very self-deprecating. And she's like, no, I'm going to. But she was not ready to do it right then. So they're like, okay, we need to get you. And obviously they don't want him to just roll in and find them. Roll in and have Patrick find them. And they're together in Hawke's room. They're trying to get her out, so she has to like jump out the window.
Yeah.
And pretend that she was on a run.
With no shoes on!
No shoes, and she has no pants. Her pants are in the living room.
So she's sweating her ass off because she's so stressed out, so that helps the situation. So she walks in, and Hawke's trying to keep Patrick busy.
And he's got all these like hickeys on his neck and scratches from her. But luckily he's just like, oh yeah, some chick, you know.
So she sneaks in and she gets away with it. She does it. He has no idea. So she walks in and she pretends she's out of breath and she's like, let me go take a quick shower. And so the goal is for her to break up with Patrick. So she's trying, but he is not listening to her at
it's
all.
Awful.
And so Hawke gets kind of discouraged and she's working and Kid comes in and he's like, yeah, Hawke is at the cabin and he is drunk and high off of his mind, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, fuck. So as soon as she gets off of work, she drives out to the cabin. And she meets up with him. And he is on ecstasy.
Molly.
Molly and...
Which is ecstasy.
Yeah. Molly and drinking. So she's trying to talk to him and he tells her what his crime is and that it's murder. And and she's not scared because she's like, I know you didn't do it. What's the story? And like... he definitely sees like the first time ever that somebody's not questioned him.
Like he assumes like as soon as she finds out like what he had been in jail for, that she was just gonna duck and run.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know you're better than this. I know there's more to the story. Like, I'm not leaving. Tell me what's going on. And he could not believe it.
Yeah. So then they end up leaving. But on the way, she's like, do you have more Molly? He gives her the E.
Yeah.
And the D. The E and the D.
But he's like, good. And she also said, like, if I'm going to try this, I'm going to do it here where I'm in a safe space. Like, it's just him. And he only gave her half. This car scene was hot, especially because they're all, like, up on their, like, E.
Yeah, and they're just, like,
all the touchies.
And,
everywhere. Like, even, it would feel like you're, like, going underneath your skin.
I mean, even on THC, sex on THC is pretty hot.
I've never successfully been high long enough to get to the sex part because it wears off.
God.
It wears off so fast. I can't have a sustained high.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Anyway,
high sex. I mean, not condoning it, but
that car scene was great.
it was delicious.
Yes.
Anyways, so they end up going back after that amazing sex moment on drugs. So then Patrick keeps talking about this brunch with his family.
And that's awful too. Like, it's just more of him just like not valuing her as a person. Like, she's saying things about how like she's not okay with doing this or going through with it. And I don't want to go to this family brunch. And he's like, too bad. You can't get out of it. Like, sorry.
So he takes her to this brunch thing at his parents' house. And shit kind of hits the fan. So they start talking about Hawke and about how his brother starts bashing him. And then you can start to see that there's something not right.
And there were sort of hints about this, like, beforehand. I'm making a rosé.
Do it.
By the way.
Do it.
Yes. There were hints, like, leading up to this before. And, like, she knew that there was some sort of, like, overlapping past with Hawke and his family.
Yep.
And then it sort of starts to come.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm leaving. You guys are being so judgmental. You're on, like, you preach about being forgiving. And she has a great monologue. Like, maybe it's a monologue because it's just her talking to everybody. But just like, you are judging everybody, yet you talk about Jesus not judging people and forgiving everyone. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Like, you talk about Christian values, but you're not upholding your own Christian values.
Yes. I loved her stance on that. And I was like, yes. It was a good, like, you give it to him moment. And she goes out to the car, and then Patrick comes out, and he tries to grab her and pull her out of the car.
Forcefully remove her from the car.
And she's like, no, I want to go. And he's like, so he's grabbing her, and he's pulling her, and he ends up leaving marks on her arm because he's so forcefully doing it. And his dad comes out and thankfully stops him, and is like, knock it off. And then Patrick comes inside, and then
his dad tries to turn it into like Nicole's fault. Like, I think it's best that you go.
Yes.
And she's like, that's what I've been trying to do. Dick face. I threw in the dick face. She didn't.
He is a dick face. They're all a dick face fucking
all
family.
Dick faces, but like, yeah.
So
anyway,
she leaves and she goes home and she gets Hawke, and then they take off to a hotel. And so she's like, John, her work buddy, coworker, calls in and is like, hey, can you go in for me early? And she's like, sure.
Yeah, because he's got to go to the hospital with his pregnant wife.
Yeah, so it's a valid reason, and they're good friends. So she's like, absolutely. So they're trying to come up with a plan because they know, well, I'm sorry, I skipped a big part. So she goes and she breaks it off with Patrick, and she pretty much tells him that she's been sleeping with Hawke and that she's going with Hawke and not him, and he is fuming mad.
And he also refuses to acknowledge it. He's like, no, you're not doing that.
Nope, you just made a mistake. Come back to me. It's fine. Like, just, I'm going to brush it off and pretend it never happened. And she's like, no, I'm leaving. So they leave and they go to this hotel. And so she goes into work. Well, she's planning on going into work, but they have this like goodbye moment because he's going to go into the city and call his parole officer and tell him what's going on.
Patrick threatens that like he's like said some shit to the police, like made up shit about Hawke, basically. Like, ooh, good luck with your new boyfriend. Like, police have been informed, blah, 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 because he's a douchebag. And of course, like the rich families always like win in small towns. You know?
So they're having like this goodbye moment kiss, and then
police, open up.
So then they're like, fuck. So Hawke opens the door. They don't arrest him, but they take him away.
So Kid's got the parole officer going to help Hawke.
She ends up going to work to take John's shift. And then guess who walks in the door? Patrick. Asshole.
Being a dick face.
Yeah, and then she pretty much gives them to him. Like, she's like, you last pretty much all 2 minutes during sex. Hawke has given me an orgasm. You've never given me an orgasm. Fuck you. You're lame in bed. Blah, blah, blah. Of course.
Yeah, and she's like, he fucked me all over that house. And like,
yeah,
pretty awesome.
She's poking every single one of his buttons. And he reaches over the bar and he grabs her and like pulls him close. But then one of the regulars breaks
Leonard,
it up.
I love Leonard.
I like Leonard too. He's so cool. He's like this little old man that reads classic books in the bar. So he breaks it up. Patrick leaves. And so then she's leaving for her, her shift is done. She's closed everything up.
She's closing the bar. And so everybody's gone.
Yep. And Leonard walks her out to her car and he's really sweet about it. And he's like, okay, have a good night.
She doesn't remember if she's locked the door to the bar.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So she goes back and she's like, I'm all alone, but like everybody's gone. Like I'm the only car in the lot.
Yep.
So it's okay, you know, for me to go back and check because I really want to make sure the bar is locked.
Yep. This customer comes up and there was an attempted assault on her, and Hawke comes in and starts pounding the guy pretty much to death until Cole stops him. And he stops as soon as she says his name.
Yeah, he is completely lost and she's freaked out because if he does anything, then he'll go back to jail.
So she has a plan in her head. And she's like, you go back to the hotel or wherever. Let me handle something. So he goes back to wherever he came from. And she goes to the house where Patrick is because she knows that Patrick sent that guy to assault her. And
also, that's like super fucked up because he supposedly loves her.
Yeah.
But he like thinks so lowly of her that he doesn't care if somebody like inflicts bodily harm on her, like bodily, physical, like he doesn't care if somebody inflicts physical, mental, emotional harm on her.
Yeah. So she pulls up and he comes out. Oh, there's a little beetle on me. Look.
It's springtime. All the bugs are coming out.
Oh my gosh, Kelly, you got a look at this. It's a little beetle.
Yeah, we've had them in our house. They're around. Yeah.
So she goes to the house and Patrick comes out and she puts her phone on the police. She calls him.
She's got it in her pocket.
And she gets him to confess that he was the actual one that murdered Hawke's best friend and not Hawke. He admits to sending someone to assault her. He admits to so much that he ends up getting 15 years in jail.
Yeah, because she's got her phone in the pocket and the cops hear everything.
And then Hawke and her drive off into the sunset on a bike.
Yeah, right off into the sunset on a hot motorcycle.
Yep, to California, and they're done.
And there's some hot sex. Hot motorcycle sex. Ooh.
Oh, that hot oh my gosh.
That was hot.
That was hot. Have you ever had sex on a bike?
No.
That might be my new mission in life.
Yeah, that was hotter than the car sex.
Yeah, so they have lots of motorcycle sex in California. And they live happily ever after. With his bad boyness going on. Yeah, it was a good book. All right, well, moving on till next week.
Yeah.
On that fine note.
So we've got Promises and Pomegranates.
Yes.
It's a Hades and Persephone retelling.
Oh my gosh.
I love Hades and Persephone. And of course, we're going to have more readings from Ryan.
Whew. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Get an extra set of panties, ladies.
Watch your wetness.
Yes. All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Ready, Kelly? That was a good one.